Hello. So I was not planning on doing this video. I kind of wanted to move forward and focus on some more positive things, but here we are again. Um, the reason why I was going to do this video is kind of talk about a little bit about the last video that I did. And I feel like I gotta explain myself. And I shouldn't have to do that, right? Because when I do a video, it's on my channel. I should be able to do what I want. But then there's a few other things that just happened. I've said before, it's a daily thing. So I'm going to discuss it and then just move on. So on the last video that I did, I was talking about, Hannah. And I stated that the video was not about her mother. It was not about Natasha. And the comments that I got, some of the comments, people support going after Hannah and solely because of who her mother is. I mean, that's clear. And, most of the people that were doing this, they can't give me a reason why it's okay to go after Hannah's school, to go real life on Hannah. They can't. They just wanted to keep bringing up Natasha. Natasha does this, Natasha does that. And I have tried until I'm blue in the face to say that the video was not about Natasha. It was about Hannah. And I understand, and I said in my video and in my comments that I know Hannah is not a child. I mean, she's someone's child, right? We all are. She is, 21, and she is a creator. I've already stated that. I mean, I have 3 children. So they're grown, and I'm smart enough to know what the legal age is when our children reach that age. That's 18, right? So I get it. She's not a minor, okay? That wasn't the point either of the video. I never said she was a minor. The point of the whole video was that some people are trying to attack her, go after her, and they're going after her schooling, or try to, over a cookbook that she did for her community because they don't like her mother. That's solely the only reason. It's not like they don't like Hannah and she did anything to them, or she went on her own channel and was cussing everybody out and dogging them, calling them every name in the book. Now, I was told that, Hannah does maybe little tiny things here and there, maybe, I don't know, in the background of her mother's videos or whatever you can hear. I don't know, okay? But she does not. She can go on her own video or on her own channel and really be ugly and mean to those that have said some really nasty things about her, but she does not do that, all right? So I am still standing firm. I'm sorry. I was also called basically, if you want to use, I'm not going to use the correct term, but saying that I am basically a flip-flopper, okay? I cannot be a flip-flopper because I don't belong to a community. You have to belong to a community and be in a community to flip-flop back and forth like we see out there in this drama community. I don't belong to a community. In my description, if you look, it says that I part of what I do is talk about behaviors that are out there on social media. So, and way back, okay, when I started doing this, I stated that some people might not like if I talk about a creator that they're loyal to. I've done videos on Natasha. So I did have people in her community that did not like that. I've talked about some other creators and I had people that didn't like it. But if I see or hear something that I don't think is right or I think is bad behavior, then I discuss it. That's what I do, as well as do other things. You know, I've done some cooking, I've done some other craft, I've done other junk on my videos. So I'm not on a side here. I'm not. So I can't be a flip-flopper. I've already been told by a creator, they actually called me out. I didn't respond back to it. They had every reason to call me out because I did mention their name. But they said I was a biased channel for the other side. Okay? And I think the reason why they feel that way is because I have chatted just a little bit. I don't get to catch lives that often on creators, but I have chatted in some creators' lives because I feel like I'm welcomed there. So I took the chance, and some of the creators have came and made comments on my videos. So I felt like I would be welcomed to chat. And when I do chat, I don't participate in any type of, dragging or anything. It's basically just talking about nothing whenever I do chat, right? It can be talking about, I don't know, if they're talking about another creator or something. I don't really, if I can remember straight here, because guys, I'm only human too. I don't really participate in dragging. I don't do that. I might voice opinions or something like that, but I don't drag people, okay? That's not my thing. But I do voice opinions. But I felt like that there are certain creators that I would be welcomed to chat in their lives. And they have welcomed me in it, and their community, when I've went in there, they have welcomed me. I've had people say hello to me. So I do feel comfortable in some creators' chat. And there's some that I just feel like if I would go over there and start chatting, that I wouldn't feel welcome. Now, not saying that I wouldn't be welcome. It's just how I feel right now that I wouldn't be. Okay? So maybe that's where this one creator felt like I am a biased channel. And she did say some untruths, okay, when she did the video on me. Well, she didn't do a whole video. She just mentioned my name, and she said some things. But I felt like, it wasn't even worth it to respond back to her or even to correct what she had to say. It wasn't worth it. If she thinks that I'm biased, that's okay. That's okay. I try not to be. But some might feel that I am because there are a few creators, like I said, where I have felt comfortable enough when I have been able to catch a live And I can't, I don't, I'm not there the whole time. I might only catch some of the live. Um, and I pop in and we'll participate a little bit. So people have eyes and ears everywhere, right? So they might have seen me in there or whatever. And so they think that I am biased because I am there. I wouldn't mind to pop into uh, every creator's chat, even if it's just for a few minutes, just to kind of get a feel for it. But like I said, I feel like that I would not be welcomed. Doesn't mean that's a fact. That's just how I feel. So, anyways, I'm not a flip-flopper, okay? I'm not. I have called out what I have seen as, bad behaviors. Or not even just bad behaviors, but things that shouldn't be happening. And of course, I don't see all the videos and I don't, I'm not everywhere because I've said it before. I don't watch all videos all the way through. I don't even know some of the creators still that are out there. Um, I'm only one person and I don't spend all my time on YouTube. A lot of creators are making a living doing this. I'm not one of them. So I just want to make that clear. For some that say that I'm backpedaling or I'm a flip-flopper, no, I'm not. Just like when, and I said it in my last video, when Jessica Lynn's daughter was talked about, okay? And she was. And the person held on to pictures of her, which they should never have done. I talked about it. I called it out, okay? When Natasha's niece was with the journal issue, I talked about it. I called it out. When some people are attacked for absolutely no reason and stuff is done to them, I call it out. I don't care what side you're on. When Jessica Lynn's father was dug into, I don't care if it was public information or whatever. I called it out. I did a video on it, all right? It doesn't matter to me. I already said I don't have a beef in this YouTube war. I will talk about it and call it out and say that's not right. I've said before that as a creator, we all should stand united when it comes to going real life on anybody. And we all should stand united when it comes to doxing, going after family members, going after children, okay? And going after family members would include Hannah as well, no matter if she's a creator or not. Just my opinion. But even not just creators, but even subs, viewers, should be against it. They should. They should say this is not okay. Because we cannot be outraged if one person on one side does something and we're outraged about that, but then someone on the other side does the same thing and no, we're okay with it. That's not how it should work. Just because someone might like somebody or they're friends with this person, that's when I was kind of called out by the one creator because I'm like, no, if you stand up for something, okay, you should stand up for it all the way around, no matter if you're friends with this person or this other creator. If they're doing this bad behavior, you shouldn't stand up you shouldn't be against something and say I'm against it only for the people that you don't like. But if your friend does it, it's okay. It doesn't work that way. So I just wanted to make that clear. Some of the other things, too, is some people might say that, well, Hannah is being groomed, or she's going to grow up just like her mother, or you know, we as parents, we expect that our children do good, go to school like Hannah is, not run the streets, not do drugs, not be a young mother. It shouldn't be anything that's praised. I'm not using that word for word. That's something that should be expected. Absolutely. That's what we hope for our children. That's not what we're seeing in society, though. It's not. And you can have the best parents. You can have that nuclear family, okay? And you can have the best upbringing. You can have the best that money can buy, everything that you need, everything that you want, all the love in the world. And you can have children that grow up to be criminals or just not good people at all. And then you can have a family that's not the nuclear family and a child that has the worst childhood imaginable, okay? And they grow up to be the best of the best because they wanted to stop that cycle. They did not want, or they wanted to, excuse me, they wanted to make sure that when they became an adult, that things changed. Okay? They did not, they wanted to change the path, their destiny. Because, again, when you're 18, you're considered an adult in the eyes of the law. And like I said, you can't choose your parents. You can't. So you can't really help what you're born in. And you can have the worst, I'm getting a little twisted here, but you can have the worst upbringing and the worst parents and be the best. All right? And maybe I'll share my story at a later date of my life. I've already said that I was in a domestic violence marriage for 15 years. He's no longer with us. He's deceased. I've already shared that. That happened 2 months ago. But before that, I didn't have any parents. Now, of course, I had to have parents to begin with to have been born, but I didn't know my parents. I had a very rough childhood. Well, I take that back. I met my mother later in life, but maybe I'll go over that. Like I said, maybe I'll share my story, but I had a very rough childhood, very rough. And maybe that's why I became a young mother. Now, with everything else, I did become a young mother. That's one of the, and I chose a very poor partner, very poor husband. And when I say poor, I mean very controlling and abusive. I didn't choose any of the other things like drugs or criminal lifestyle or whatever. I chose to be a mother, but I didn't have anybody to teach me the right way. But I decided that I wanted to change who I wanted to be, okay? And it was hard because I didn't have any direction in life. I had nobody to teach me anything. And it was hard to get away from the situation that I was in with the ex-husband. So that took some time, but I'm not going to get on that track. So I might share my story later on, maybe when I'm more comfortable to go live. But I said before, too, with the ugliness that is out there, that's why I haven't shown my face or my name. And that's, why I haven't. It's just people want to dig and go real life and stuff. And that's why I never will say my children's names, even though they're adults, because there's too many crazy people out there that like to dig in, and then they make excuses. And we're going to get into that because that's going to be another part of this video. They make excuses on why they did what they did. There's no excuse for it. Okay? None. So I still stand firm when I say that Hannah should not be attacked and people go after her school, because she is a child, an adult child. Okay? She's 21. Let me make that clear. That is trying to better her life. And we'll leave it at that. I still stand firm on that, okay? I stand firm when I mention anybody else. And just because some people don't like her mother makes her no different, okay? She's still a person. She still has done nothing wrong to anybody to make them want to attack her like they are. So I'm just making that clear. Clearing up some of the stuff on the last video. Now I'm going to move on from that. I'm not going to talk about Hannah again. I don't care if people don't like it. I will stand firm on my beliefs. And my beliefs is you don't go real life on anybody. Sorry, you don't. I don't care who their parents are. I don't care if it's this community, that community. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't. And like a lot of the other creators say, if you don't like what I have to say, you don't have to be here to listen. You don't. You don't have to leave a comment if you don't want to. You really don't. Now, I won't delete comments. I don't delete comments unless I get vile. I have never had to delete a comment, except I get these, there are foreign comments that come in and they're advertising something. I don't know what it is. It's like a bot, I think. Those are the only comments that I have ever deleted. I have noticed that some people, I don't know what they're doing. They must be deleting comments. I have no clue. I don't get a chance. I try to respond to most of my comments, unless somebody catches a video like a few days later or something. If I don't respond back, that's because it was a few days, past, and I don't go check, most of the time I don't go check comments on a video that's already been done, a few days beforehand or whatever. Past videos. But the reason why I try to respond on comments is because I don't do live videos yet. So I'm not interacting with anybody. And so I'm just, I try to do it to interact and, show respect when people are leaving comments and talking to me in that way. So anyways, we're going to move forward from that. I'm not going to discuss that anymore. I stand by my words. I'm sorry, I do. If some don't like it, tough. Okay? Now we're going to move on. We are going to talk about Dorothy doxing a child. I said before, when this happens, I'm going to talk about it. And at first it was hearsay when people were talking about it. I didn't see it. And I don't like talking about hearsay. And I was actually in a chat, a creators chat, and they happen to belong in a different community. And I mentioned this, and there are some people in that chat that might support Dorothy, okay? And um, and that's the thing. Let me explain this. When you don't belong to a community, and I have people come in here that are from other communities, and there are some people in here that don't belong to a community. They've already stated that they don't belong to a community. They might not even like the drama. They might not watch any of the drama. They might just watch like a cooking video, or when I do like a craft. I mean, those are kind of cheesy and boring. It's not drama related. So, but some people have already stated that they have left YouTube, or they're not watching any more of the drama BS going on. But anyways, it was hearsay at that time. I just kind of heard that there was a doxing, another doxing going on a minor child. And I already knew that Dorothy did this with Jessica Lynn when she had her, I don't know, thing up on the screen or whatever that she was looking for, and it was like a, oops, I'm sorry, where she was looking some stuff up on Jessica Lynn or whatever, and it was one of those oops moments or whatever. And it had some information of Jessica Lynn. So I'm not going to go into that, okay? I think I've already talked about it. It's already out there. We're going to get on this child. So I didn't know much about it, all right? So last night, because I wasn't going to talk, I don't want to talk about it in a video unless I know what's going on or see what's going on, instead of it being hearsay. Because other people were saying, oh no, she caught that, she caught it, all right? No, she didn't. Or it was an accident. That's what Dorothy is trying to say. It was an accident. So we're going to go over this, okay? I did watch a little bit of Dorothy's, just a little bit. I tried to go, and I watched Save Robbie's live late last night. That's when I normally watch what I need to watch. I've already stated this many, many times when I can't sleep. And Dorothy was stating that, well, they said, I tried to go because Save Robbie was saying, this is where it happened, this video, I guess it was over a 3-hour video. You go back and you check, and this video that Dorothy did was edited to like a 13-minute video. So what she did was she put this information up, and then she edited it afterwards, okay? So she was basically saying that Robbie put this information up. Let me backtrack here so I can say this too, and I'm sure everybody already knows this, but what it was a restraining order on somebody, and I'm not going to say her name, okay? Or she put the restraining order out on Robbie, all right? And Robbie at this time, this was, months ago, he was talking to somebody else, and I'm not even going to say her name either. He was talking to somebody else, and there was a mixed communication or whatever, and I guess Robbie showed this restraining order, sent this restraining order to this person, and said, no, this is what the restraining order was about, or whatever. And so she held on to that, and later on sent it to Dorothy, I guess. That's how it happened. So Dorothy was stating that Robbie put this restraining order. This is Dorothy saying this. She's like, Robbie's the one that doxed himself. And this minor child and this other creator. Um, because Robbie and this other creator had an issue. And so this other creator put this restraining order on Robbie. It was later dropped, okay, and I guess they're okay now. Dorothy was friends with this other creator, and I know who she is. I think we all do. And they were friends. Well, now Dorothy had a falling out with this other creator, and she's been putting her on blast that they're going, whatever. So she's trying to say that Robbie put this on his community tab, this restraining order, and then took it down real quick so that he doxed himself. Dorothy, that's a lie. That's an absolute lie, because I remember when, and I'm sure a lot of people do, we remember that when Robbie was doing the fund for an attorney for all this, there was a lot of talk about, why isn't Natasha showing, why isn't she showing receipts like Robbie's showing? Because at the time, Robbie was showing his receipts and his attorney's name. Now, he did this, he did a live, and I did watch that because, I was curious. It's like, oh, he's going to show that he actually had an attorney or has an attorney, and he's going to show where the funds are going. And he did. Attorney's name, phone number, everything, where the funds went, a letter from the attorney. And he got an attorney for this restraining order or protective order, whatever, whichever it was. And he was not talking about this person at all, because when there is an order out like this, you are not allowed to talk about the person, especially on social media, right? Because I had to file one on my ex at one time. I'm sure a lot of people out there listening might have had to file one on somebody at one point in time. And they will tell you shouldn't, engage in any way. So if Robbie would have put that up on his community tab or whatever, that would have been a big no-no. And the person who filed that against him, she would have had some really incriminating evidence against him. All right? Because this paperwork had her full name, had her child's name, there was addresses, everything on it. All right? And not only that, but it would show that he was harassing her on social media by putting this up on his community tab. I mean, he wouldn't even say her name or what was going on until this order was dropped, and then he could talk about it. And then he did. So that was a lie, Dorothy. He did not have that up, okay? He didn't. You were sent that by this person that Robbie sent it to show that whatever they were discussing, and I don't even know, they were discussing something, and he would send it to her saying, no, this is not what it's about. This is what it's about. All right? So this person held on to it and decided to send it to Dorothy. And Dorothy, this person that sent it to Dorothy, didn't even retract anything. Okay? So this is the problem. People like to send, if you're given personal information, okay, and I don't know if Robbie was friends with this person at this time, or if he thought he could trust her, or if they were just acquaintances and he was just trying to show his proof or whatever. Dorothy is using, well, Robbie put it out there first. Well, if that's the logic you want to use, that's kind of like the journal, right? The journal with Natasha's niece. Natasha put it out there first to who she thought was friends. That's where it originally came from. Now, see, I don't use that as the logic here. I mean, I already said in my one video that I would have never sent anything like that on my child to strangers on the internet. Even though you think they're your friends, we see how people flip in a heartbeat, okay? And how it's like a revolving door. You think they're your friends, they're not, okay? Or they're your friends one day, the next day they're not. They go to the other side. But if that's your logic, Dorothy, then, Natasha thought people were her friends or whatever. She's the one that put out those journal pages to begin with. Can't have it both ways here, right? You can't. But I still stick to my guns about the journal. I do. And we're going to get to that here in a minute too. But you were sent this information or this order, and the person that sent it to you, if they should have at least, and they didn't, blocked out full names and addresses, especially on the minor child, before they sent it to you. But they didn't. Because, Dorothy seems to not check things. She's too quick to want to get on a live and put stuff out. I mean, Dorothy doesn't even interact with anybody in chat. She doesn't. That's why I'm surprised that, she has an audience. I mean, I'm sorry, but she talks and talks for hours and hours, and you have a lot of people there in chat, and there's no interaction with your people. And I've watched other creators, and they're watching their chat, and they're talking with people, and Dorothy doesn't do that. She's one creator that hardly ever interacts with anybody in her chat. You have no idea what is being said in there. And you did not check this information that you put out. All right? You did not check. And you should have known too, Dorothy, that if it was a protective order, restraining order, whatever it was, that there would be personal information on there. Okay? And that before you put it out on social media for the world to see, that as a creator, that you needed to make sure that all important private information was blurred out. I mean, I don't even know why it was any of your business to put it out there, but okay. That's what happens in the drama community. It had nothing to do with you, but okay. It's the drama community. So you decided, you had to put it out there without checking to make sure this information was not visible for the world to see. And I guess some people said, well, you said, oh, that's a mistake. Oops. It was a mistake. I'm sorry. As a creator, that's a big mistake. You doxed a child. You did. I don't care if it's a mistake or not. That child's full name is now out there for the world. There is no excuse for it. None. You're like, with Save Robbie, well, everybody knows his name, but they didn't know his address now, did they? Nope. They sure didn't. They do now. They do now. And some people might want to say, well, the document was so small. You could still see it. All people have to do is take a screenshot and blow it up, and there you go. Or if it's on, some people, they watch YouTube on a big screen. There you go. So, mistake or not, you should know better, okay? You should check your stuff before you put it out there. There is absolutely no excuse for what you did. And for the person that sent it to you, same thing. Oh, Well, I should have checked it before I sent it to you. This was a minor child. Let's say, and even the two creators that you doxed, because you did, because, their addresses were on there. I mean, okay, Robbie, we all know what Robbie's name is. We didn't know their addresses. So you put out their addresses. But you did dox a minor child. And using the excuse, oh, it was a mistake. That's not going to cut it. Because you should know better. And your people that support you, they need to quit this bull crap of, oh, it was a mistake. Oh, she caught it and said, oh, I should have blurred that out. And then you edit it later. The damage is done already. The damage is already done. Instead of worrying about running and doing hour-long lives and getting the tea up there and getting the dirt on somebody, maybe you should check it first. And then you want to lie and say that Robbie had it out there first. No, he didn't. He absolutely didn't. Because, again, the person that had the order on him, Robbie could have gotten into a lot of trouble. And I'm sure at that time, she would have made sure that he got into a lot of trouble if he would have had it up there. And people would have seen it and they would have screenshotted it and it would have been all over this drama community. Okay? So that's a lie. And you know it. You doxed a child. You doxed two other creators. And then you want to lie about it. And people that support you are okay with it. They're okay. Now, you are in Natasha's community now. They were outraged, totally outraged. And you even brought her up about her niece. Again, you brought her up. Well, they attack her niece. There's no outrage. Bullshit if there was an outrage. Even people that are against Natasha were not okay with that. Okay? They were not. But here's something that I'm going to bring up about that journal. I said we were going to talk about it a little later. This is something that I find a little bizarre. With the journal, the person that actually put it out there, I have seen people being very chummy with the person that actually put it out there. And they're angry at the person that gave it to him. All right. So the people that are in Natasha's community have been chummy with him. I've seen them be chummy with him for a while. And they are blaming Jessica for giving it to him. But yet he's the one that put it out. All right? He didn't have to put it out. He's the one that put it out on his live, on his channel. He had, He had, he could have said, no, I got morals. I'm not going to do this to this child. But he decided to do it. But people in Natasha's community have been, I don't know, some talking to him. Supposedly he said he was sorry. And I've even seen comments, well, at least he's trying to better himself. He said he was sorry and this and that. Well, Jessica Lynn has said she was sorry and she wished she would never have done it. I've heard her say that several times. She wished she would have never gave it to him. And we see the text message as well where she showed, where she said, I can't quote it word for word, I can't believe you we're going to put it out there or whatever. And he said something like, well, I guess we should have talked first or something, or I should have talked to you first. I'm not saying that word for word. So to me, it looks like, because some people want to say that she did it knowing he was going to put it out there. I don't know, but from that text message at the end, some might want to say, well, she knew he was going to. But from what I am seeing from the text message, she couldn't believe that he was going to do that. And he's, saying, well, I guess we should have talked first about it. But everybody's angry at Jessica Lynn. She's not the one that put it out on a live. He is. But everybody's being chummy with him. And I just see Natasha on panel with him talking to him when her channel went down. He's being all nicey nice with Natasha. Okay? Because, yeah, her channel went down. And I know she's got another channel up again. And he's talking to her all nice and everything. And I'm sorry if somebody did that to my child. Bye. Not going to ever talk to you again. Didn't Natasha say that she would never, ever be on a panel with him, talk to him, or anything else? But she was. But they want to blame this all on Jessica Lynn. But he's the one that put it out there. But the community's fine with him. Fine with him. So I just found that really bizarre. Because he's the one that put it out. So who is to blame for this doxing on this child? Is it the one that gave it to Dorothy that didn't redact the private information? Or is it Dorothy because Dorothy's the one that didn't check it and put it out there? I mean, I don't know. You guys are the weirdos that are putting private information out there on your channels anyways. And why are you doing it? Who knows? Middle-aged women and men putting out private information. You're not checking things, okay? And even if you are, you don't care. And then you want to lie or make excuses and say, well, it was a mistake. Sorry, it was a mistake. And, you have your supporters that are just, it was a mistake. What if it was your child? Supporters. What if it was your family and your child that has, the address up there for everybody to see? Would it be just a mistake then? I don't think so. I think you'd be very angry about that. And, this creator has every right to do any type of legal action because creators know better. They know better. And Dorothy absolutely doxed this child. No matter how she wants to spin it, twist it, she can twist it like a pretzel. She did it. She did it, and she knows it. So we're going to move on from that. Now, I was listening to a little bit of Dorothy and this other person talk about Jessica Lynn, and, I find it really funny that a lot of creators want to sit there and talk about how people don't have, other creators don't have a job and they should go get a job and the reasons why they don't have a job when they're sitting there and they don't have a job. I mean, I don't get that. They're complaining about other creators not having a job outside of YouTube, outside of the home, when they themselves don't have a job outside of the home. And really, what business is it of theirs? Are they paying this other creator's bills? No, they're not. So what business is it of theirs? Okay? And they were basically talking about Jessica Lynn again, thinking it's their business what she is doing, about a job. Like I said, it's really funny to me. And it's not just here that I see it, listening to a lot of creators talking, the same stuff. Why don't they go get a job? You're saying this while you're sitting there with no job because you have said that you don't work or YouTube is your job. But yet you're telling another creator that basically is making a living from YouTube too that they should go out and get a job. I mean, it makes no sense, okay? Makes no sense. And they're going on and on about her living arrangements, okay? This is another thing that has really, really got to me. I mean, not really got to me, but I think it's funny as well. They're so concerned on Jessica's living arrangements, okay? If she's living with her parents, they say that she's lying. That, she's lying about her living arrangements, that she says she's living with her parents. She's not living with her parents. She's living alone. And Jessica Lynn said that there's a picture floating around of her house that somebody put out. I've never seen it. But Jessica has put hints out there, and I'm not going to say what it is, but she said that there's pictures of her parents' house. She's living alone, but she's close to her parents, and there's pictures of her parents' house, and people would get it if they would pay attention. Now, I'm not going to say what it is, but I think I know what Jessica Lynn is saying, okay? And if I'm right, all right, Jessica Lynn's not lying. She's not lying, and she never did lie. And if people would use their brains, Jessica Lynn, I get it, okay? I get it. I think I know exactly what you're saying. And she's not lying. I'm just going to leave it at that. Some people need to use their brains. Okay? Use your brains. Live close to your parents. You live alone. All right, you got your own place. That's all I'm going to say. Jessica, I think I get it, all right? Some people might not want to use their noggins. And when she said that people have seen a picture of her house, that it's floating around, and if they would look at the house, they could probably get it. I think I get it, okay? We're going to leave it at that. So, Jessica's not lying, okay, on her living arrangements. And then people want to say that her bedroom's in this unfinished, nasty basement. Give me a break, people. Okay. And this is what Dorothy and this person want to keep talking about. And a lot of other people about this basement. How many have unfinished basements, okay, where the washing machine might be down in the basement? I know my daughter, before they moved out of state, they owned this big, I mean, it was huge, out in the country farmhouse, and it was old, and they had a basement. It was unfinished, okay, and the washing machine and dryer was down there. And the thing is, Jessica Lynn decides to do her live videos down in the basement. All right. It's no secret she's a smoker. How many viewers out there? I mean, you hear a lot of people say, oh, she just smokes and she smokes. How many people out there are smokers? Right? I bet a lot of people that are in chat and watching, you're smokers. I'm sure there's a lot that aren't, but there's a lot of people that are smokers, okay? Come on. So she decides to do her lives in the basement, all right? When she does it at night or maybe in the morning. We see her doing her lives outside when it's nice. But there's a lot of people that don't smoke in their house. All right? Especially if they have kids. Now, in the basement, might be a different story. Smoking in your basement. And I know some people say, well, the smoke goes up into the house. I know I'm sounding really dumb. But how about some of you smokers? And you know what? I smoke. I'm trying to quit. I really am. I'm trying to quit. I don't smoke in my house. All right? I don't want my house to smell like smoke. So I go out on my deck. Now, I don't have a basement. If I had a basement, I would be doing my videos in the basement, especially if I was going live. If it was finished or not finished, I'd be going down there because as you can see, I've said before that the person that's in my home, they don't want to listen to this crap. They don't want to listen to me. When I'm listening to videos and stuff, I'm sure they don't want to hear it. There's been a couple of times where, like if I'm working around the house or something, and I got my phone and I'm listening, they're looking at me and they're like, a couple of times, I'm like, what the crap is that? Okay. So if I had a basement, that's where I would be doing my videos. All right. For one, if I wanted to smoke, I could smoke. Two, if I had young children in my home, I sure would not want my kids to be hearing any of this. So I'm saying Jessica Lynn is smart by doing her videos in the basement to where her children do not have to hear this drama crap. Smart move, okay? Because we know that some creators, we hear it, their children are listening because we hear the kids in the background. Or we hear the parents talking to the kids when they are screaming, yelling, cursing, dragging people. So if Jessica Lynn wants to go to a quiet area where when she is really talking about the drama and maybe using the F-bomb and stuff, and she does not want her children hearing this, that makes her a good mom. Okay? And if she wants to be able to smoke and not smoke in the house, in the upstairs area around her children, or fill the house up with smoke upstairs or whatever, that makes her a good mom. And then, like I said, if I had a basement, that's where I'd be doing it. Now, I downsized. I got a 3-bedroom here, and I turned my smallest room into a small tiny guest room and a big walk-in closet because I got too many clothes. I really need to get rid of some. But I am working on a different setup in my other bedroom, okay? Maybe an office, whatever. I've already mentioned before that I have a lot of remodeling to do. I got a lot of stuff to do, a lot of projects that I have not got done during the winter. So, and I'm older. So I'm slow. I'm slow at what I'm doing, and I do my own work most of the time, unless I have friends to come over and help or whatever. I do most of my own stuff. So I have my whole place to paint, ceiling, walls. I still have new flooring to put in the kitchen, backsplash. I'm working on the master bathroom. Um, I got a lot of projects going on, and I have a bad habit of starting one and not finishing it. And I got a deck to stain. I still got my outside work to do on my flower beds. I got a lot going on. And put work on top of that. You know, YouTube is like last on my list. But I would do the setup, my setup in my bigger bedroom, because I still need that smaller one, kind of for my walk-in closet, you know, until I don't know if I'm going to get rid of some clothes or not. But anyways, back to Jessica. So you hear some people say, well, she could use money and she can finish that basement. Are you kidding me? Really? Again, how many people have unfinished basements? Who cares? A basement's a basement. Why would she want to? Do we know how many people have finished a basement? It's very expensive, right? Mm-hmm. There is no problem with Jessica doing her, if she is comfortable doing her lives in the basement, to where her children are not listening to this, and where if she wants to smoke a cigarette, she can, and it's not upstairs in the house, then so be it. Okay? Because some creators, we know, are smoking right in their house with their children, all right? Running around, and they're doing their lives with their children right there beside them while they're saying the most vulgar things. So, who are you to judge? Now, we also have them talking about Jessica's, her PayPal fund. Now, this I find hilarious as well. So, Jessica's fund that she has is to take her children, to Disney World, Disneyland, whichever is in Florida. And people have a problem with it. And I'm thinking to myself, seriously? Seriously. I heard Natasha say something about the fund, and Dorothy, I heard her say something about the fund. And there's like, you're going to have strangers pay for your vacation. I cannot believe you made a fund to take your children to Florida and on vacation here to Disneyland, I think it is. Disney World. I'm not sure which it is. I can't remember. And Natasha even said, it's so hot there, you couldn't pay me to go. All right. And said something about, I can't say it word for word what Natasha said, that, I think that maybe her family members haven't went or something. Don't quote me on that. I mean, the videos are all down, the channel's down, so I can't even go back and look. But they don't like what she named her fund. Seriously? After all the ridiculous names that Natasha gave her funds. Okay? Seriously. What is the difference? Um, so Natasha can name her funds all these wacky names, okay? And she says they're just to piss off the haters. And she can have her community donate what every 2 or 3 days it fills up, and then she makes up another weird name and drops the fundraiser or whatever, and it's okay for her to do that. It's okay, nothing said about it. Her community finds it okay, and Dorothy thinks it's okay. I mean, she didn't used to, but now that she's, in my opinion, I don't know if I said it before, in my opinion, now she has a lot of Natasha's uh, community. Now they are paid members, right? They're paid members now. So, and now with Natasha's channels going down, they will flock to, and this is nothing against Natasha's community at all, because I like there's a lot of people that are in her community that I absolutely like. I do. They have been nothing but nice to me. So, you cannot hold the whole community as a whole and say they're all horrible. That's all communities. You can't, just because of who they follow, you can't say that they're all bad people. And that goes for every creator out there. You can't lump everybody that's in their community. You can't say, because they follow this person, they're all horrible. No. Because I've met some, not met, but, well, I guess you can say met here on YouTube, some people in different communities, all right, that really stuck out. I like them as a person, not who they follow. Let's put it that way. But anyways, back to Jessica's fun. Jessica has a fund to take her children on vacation. I'm not sure if this is the first fund that she has had or whatever, but some people have a problem with it. And I'm just thinking to myself, but Natasha would drop fund after fund. And I said before that her funds are no different than scrolling, your PayPal across. She just gives it funky names. And even though she has her PayPal and her Venmo and her Cash app or whatever, she has all those as well. And then the super chats and everything else. But when you have someone that does that, and then Dorothy, and they want to degrade Jessica Lynn because she has a fund to take her children on a trip, but they have a problem with Jessica Lynn's fund, I'm thinking to myself, really? Who are you? Who are you to have a problem with another creator? They're literally saying, I mean, their fund doesn't have a funky name to it. Their fund, their fund is actually to take their children somewhere for memories. Okay? Memories are very important when children are growing up. All right? But you have someone else that has funds or a fundraiser with all these weird butt names. And it would be no different. What if Natasha used her funds to take her family on a trip? She's just not saying it. See what I'm getting here? Jessica's actually saying, this is what I'm going to use the funds for. I'm going to take my kids on a vacation. But people have a problem with that? And then Dorothy said, Well, instead of having a vacation fund, she should be getting a place and getting settled in. Who's to say she's not settled in and she's not fine exactly where she's at? She's done outside videos. It seems like where she's at is absolutely fine. I said before, everybody's family dynamics are different. She might be exactly fine where she is at for years to come. And her children are fine exactly where they're at for years to come. And having that fund and taking them on vacation, those memories, they'll have those for a lifetime. A lifetime. They'll remember that trip that Jessica takes them. Sorry. They'll remember that for the rest of their lives. Not wasting the money on, I don't know, something stupid. I'm not going to say anything more on that, on like wasted money on something stupid, but they're going to remember that trip. So that's what I thought was also very bizarre, that I heard both of these creators degrading her fund because it was for a vacation. And they had the nerve to say that she's asking strangers to pay for that. Seriously? You guys are asking strangers on a daily to support your channel. Because that's what creators do, right? You put out the content and strangers, everybody's strangers out here. You pay for memberships, you do super chats, and then you have your funds that you drop. Some drop, like Natasha does, or your PayPals or whatever. Strangers are paying you daily. So what if Jessica put a name to it, which is the vacation fund, to take her children on vacation? Absolutely bizarre. But another creator can put these weird names to all of her funds every few days. Bizarre, stupid names, okay? But that's okay. Make that make sense. It absolutely doesn't make sense. So with that, that's about all I got to say. It's like taking the Band-Aid and ripping it off all at once. Because after this video, I am taking a break from the drama. I still stand firm on you don't dox. Okay? You don't attack people. You don't go after them. You don't go after their school. You don't go real life. You don't go after children. You don't go after family members. I don't agree with the body shaming. I don't know how many times I have to say that. You don't make fun of people. And, if it's okay for one creator to do something, but the other creator, oh no, you're going to do a live video and you're going to say, you're going to degrade them because they're doing the same thing. You guys don't stand for shit, okay? Because if you're going to stand up for something, again, you got to do it all the way around, no matter if someone is your friend or not. Period. So everyone have a wonderful day. I have a lot I got to get done, but I am going to focus more on some different kind of videos because I already said that I've said it many times. It's toxic, very toxic out there. And people get heated, they get ugly, and it gets vile out there. So, and I wanted to, I'm not sure what, I said it before, I was kind of lost. I want to do something different and give back to my subs. And I don't have a community. You know, everybody is from different communities here. And I want to give to my subs, but I don't know if it goes against terms of service. So I'm going to have to look into that. And when I do some other videos here, I'll go into more details, because I want to see more positive out there. And I don't know. I'll have to look and see if it goes against terms of service, and people understand more when I do a few more videos what I'm talking about. But I just have to make sure that if giving goes against terms of service. Okay. So anyways, everyone have a great day, and we'll just catch you again.